Hello all. Today we are going to see the poem The Lotus written by Toru Dutt. Before we get on to the poem, today we move on to the poem. We shall see the brief biography of Toru Dutt. Toru Dutt, she was an Indo-Anglican writer. That is, she was born in India and settled down in a foreign country. And she belongs to Bengal. So she was not only a poet, she was also a Bengali translator. She was born on 4th March 1856, and basically she was from an literate background. That is, her mother as well as father, they were well educated and they were already in the field of literature. So for that, we could see that her father, Chandra Dutt, he wrote many poems, and also her mother, Keshadra Dutt, translated the book, The Blood of Christ book. And from this, we could understand that the entire family was influenced by the Christian missionaries and converted to Christianity. Toru Dutt's siblings. So she had a brother and a sister. Toru Dutt's sister Aru Dutt and brother Abchu, they led a happy life at Bangalore. And regarding this, Toru Dutt, she wrote many poems representing her childhood happiness with her siblings. And these that is brothers and sisters, they also concentrated on learning many languages, and especially Toru Dutt, she is much interested in learning more languages. She learnt English, French and Sanskrit. She also learnt many ancient stories from her mother. And when brother Abju dies, unfortunately, the entire family moved to abroad, and they left India in the year 1869. And they went to Europe, and they stayed there in France for a year, and they moved to England for 3 years. And meanwhile, the entire family, they visited Italy and Germany, and they studied French and music. That is, especially Toru Dutt as well as Aru Dutt, they were the avid learners. They started reading and exploring the literature of foreign countries. And later, the entire family moved to Britain, and that is Aru as well as Toru Dutt, both they were educated in Cambridge. They had their English, that is French, as their lessons. And after that, after surviving a period in the foreign nation, the entire family were back to India in the year 1873, and they settled down in Bengal. That is here Toru Dutt, she was well versed in English as well as French, and she started writing poems in English as well as in French. And after returning to India, her learning inspiration has not stopped. She started learning another language, Sanskrit, and she published her first book, A Sheaf Gleaned in French Fields. And unfortunately, she died at the age of 21 on 30th May 1877 because of tuberculosis in Calcutta. Though she died in her early age, most of her publications were not recognized when she was alive, and all her poem publications were published and gained appreciation posthumously. So now we shall move on to the poem, that is The Lotus. The Lotus, it is a short poem. It is written in a form of a sonnet, that is 14 lines, and it is taken from the poem collection Ancient Ballads and the Legends of Hindustan, which was published in the year 1882. So when we talk about this poem, it is like a fable, that is, it is like a story. And the poem also represents the national flower of India, the lotus, and it also talks about the beauty of Indian culture through the flower, the lotus. So as I have mentioned already, it is a type of a fable. So we have two main characters in the poem, that is the character of love as well as Flora, the Roman goddess of flowering. So whenever we read a poem, it is must to know the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of this poem is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, C, D, C, D and D, C. So here we have the poem. This is the text of the poem. Let me read the lines first. Love came to Flora asking for a flower that would of flowers be undisputed queen. The lily and the rose long, long had been rivals for that high honor. Bards of power had sung their claims. The rose can never tower like the pale lily with her Juno mane. But is the lily lovelier? Thus, between flower factions, rang the strife in Psyche's bower. Give me a flower delicious as the rose, and stately as the lily in her pride. But of what color? Rose red, love first chose, then prayed, no lily white, or both provide. And Flora gave the lotus rose red, dyed, and lily white, the queenliest flower that blows. So here the entire poem talks about choosing the queenliest flower among the flowers. So here, as I told you already, there are two characters. The character love comes to Flora, that is the Roman goddess of flowering, asking for a flower, and that particular flower must be the queen of all flowers. So that is given in the first four lines. See, let me read the lines. Love came to Flora asking for a flower. So love came to Flora, that is Flora, the Roman goddess of flowering, came and love asked for a flower, and that flower should be the flower, that is that wood of flowers be undisputed queen. It should be the flower without any competition, that should be accepted by all other flowers as the queenliest flower. So that is the demand of love towards Flora. The lily and the rose long had been rivals for that high honor. For that honor, there are two flowers for that honor, striving to reach the honor or to acquire the honor. Those two flowers were none other than the lily and the rose. Those two flowers were striving to get the honor, that is lily and rose. Bards of power had sung their claims. Bards of power means many poets of that period. Everybody were talking about in praise of these two flowers, that is rose and lily. So while they are praising these flowers, they have stated that the rose can never tower like the pale lily with her Juno mane. So many poets, they have stated that rose cannot compete the majestic appearance of lily, because rose can be beautiful, but lily, it possesses the majestic appearance that cannot be competed by rose. So this is the statement by many of the poets in those days. So in that way, when the poets, they talk about it, there is a question that, so in that case, lily is the lovelier flower? No. So there is no answer for it. So there was many discussions going on, which is the loveliest flower, either rose or lily. Thus, between flower factions rang the strife in Psyche's bower. So, this is the thing going on, this discussion and this talk is going on and prevailing among the flowers in the bower regarding which is the queenliest flower. So finally, the love asked for a flower, that is, give me a flower delicious as the rose and stately as the lily in her pride. Okay, so finally, love asked for a flower. So that flower must be very beautiful as rose and stately as the lily in her pride. It should be very majestic in the appearance. Okay, like lily. So now finally, love asked for a flower that should be very beautiful as rose and majestic as lily. So finally, love is asking for a flower combination of both rose and lily. And there is a question, what can be the color of the flower then? So, but of what color? Rose red, love first chose, then prayed no, lily white, or both provide. So there is yet another confusion for love to ask that what can be the color of the rose. So it has asked that it should be the combination of rose, that is beautiful rose and majestic lily. And what can be of the color? So the love itself comes out with a solution that it can be of, first it says that it can be of rose. That is rose red. Okay, red color rose in that. And immediately it ignores and say that it can be of white lily. And finally, it comes to a conclusion that no, it should be a combination of both. So it should be a combination of rose red and white lily. And Flora gave the lotus rose red dyed and lily white, the queenliest flower that blows. So finally, with the combination of both the color and with the quality of both the roses, both the flowers, finally, that is Flora gave love the beautiful lotus, which has the beauty of rose as well as the majestic quality of lily, and at the same time the combination of both the colors, that is rose red as well as lily white. So finally, the flower is none other than the lotus, which represents the beauty of Indian culture. And still now we appreciate and we praise the beauty of Indian culture through our Indian nation's flower, that is the lotus. So here the poem comes to an end. Though the poem, it is a short poem, here Toru Dutt tries to signify the importance of Indian nation's flower, the lotus, and represents the beauty of Indian culture. Thank you.